Okay, so this is quite interesting. I came across this video by Rude Earther, who I like to call Wide Boy, or Wide Rude Boy, because that's the way that he talks all the time. Extremely cocky video about seeing something from 18 miles away. Look at this, it's amazing. And it's just, it's interesting to see how many things you have to get wrong to conclude that the Earth is flat. So first of all, the first wrong thing is concluding that there is 18 miles. But how would you get there? You'd need a calamity of wrong things before you got to that 18 miles. Now, there's something very interesting about all of this. Is in doing this research and finding out where he is and all this kind of stuff, he had all the information there to work out that he was wrong. All of it. All that information. The biggest telltale sign is the fact that there is a horizon at all. It should just fade to nothingness on a flat Earth, but that's neither here nor there. So the issue that we've got is these ships are sat on the horizon, which is clearly not a plausible thing at his supposed height of 16 foot. So we have to figure out, well, what went wrong. Now, luckily, he did go over it with Ranters, on Ranters. So if we have a look at this, we see that they went and they had a look at the ship. Here we go. They're discussing it. And Rant even goes away and says, "Well, hang about. These are the ships that you're saying they are." And he's a little bit off on the ship on the right. He doesn't quite think it's right, and rightly so, because this here is a chemical oil tanker. This here is a cargo ship. This is another mistake. Same with this, chemical and oil tanker, and cargo ship. So you have to get so many things wrong to actually conclude that the Earth is flat, and this is just one of them. Now, one of the interesting things about this is if we go back and have a look, let's say, at the original map, he claims to be stood here looking in this direction, which is cool. And he even sees the ships there in the distance and then holds up his phone with the direction on it. Can we see this? 1 degree north. Well, hang about. That can't be right. Because according to the map, according to this map that he's got here, how is that 1 degree north when north is up in this map? That's a bit weird. So you've got to get that wrong as well, which obviously is a little bit terrible. So let's have a look at this calamity of errors then. We've got these ships here, these two. The actual ships that they say they are, they misidentify, they say container ships. The way that I went round about it is if we look here, we've got a time that he went out and did this, so around 5 o'clock. Now there's something that I noticed in this video, especially when he was zooming in. I noticed these ships aren't moving. Neither are they 3 miles apart or 4 miles apart like they would be here. They're not moving and they're at anchor. And this was only yesterday. So is it possible that they're still at anchor? Wait a minute. So rather than saying what they think this ship is, and the two looking nothing like it, let's go find out what ships they actually are, because this one's still at anchor. We go over here and we have a look at this, and we see the Ganges Star. Look at this. Okay then. So let's have a look at this. We have a chimney with blue, white, and blue. And then we have a crane and the white here. And it's the Ganges Star. Now, very interesting thing here is we see the white, we see the logo, we see the blue. So just again, the white, the logo, the blue. So now we've correctly identified the ship and the fact that it's still at anchor. It's a bit weird because at 16 foot high, looking out over this, give or take standard refraction, would expect the horizon to be 6, maybe 6.5 miles out. This could be a little bit over the horizon. It could be a little bit in front. It's hard to tell. I would say it's a little bit over. So what kind of distance do we have here? Oh my goodness. 7.2 nautical miles. With refraction, quite easily, we could see this. And we can see that it's distorted as well. So certainly not 18 miles. And this one here on the right hand side is actually even closer. So let's have a look at the name of what they say. The Aldebaran. J. And again, they say it's a container ship. Awesome. And we have a look at the Aldebaran. So let's go over here. Also, yep, this is the one on the right now that they're looking at. Can you see how the decks have this stepped effect and the fact that this is a container ship? Does this look like the decks are stacked like that? And does it look like it's a container ship? The answer is absolutely not. However, if we go all the way over here to where it's docked currently, it's called the Salt Jaeger. It was actually anchored slightly in front of the Ganges Star yesterday, but it's moved on. So let's have a look at the Salt Jaeger. Let's have a look at this. We've got this column. We've got the bow where it's got this this white pillar, this white post on it. But we see these two columns and a crane and the S. Oh my goodness! Wait a minute. Let's have a look at Rude Earther's video here. That he says it's this one. Can we see the columns? Yes, we can. Can we see the two sections to the name, as in the Salt Jaeger, rather than the one name that they say it is? And no, it's not 15.9 miles away. This is actually in front of the other. So let's pause it there and have a look at these two big columns and compare. Oh my God, this is it. This is it. So how to correctly identify vessels and not claim perspective. Even the S. You see the S there on the smokestack? Sorry, the chimney. Well, the S is there on the side on this vessel. And it's exactly the same configuration. And it's moored in front of in a different position. Now, if we look at the position where the current Almere is, and we do well, how far is this? 6.74 nautical miles. There you go, from the beach. How easy is this to do properly? And would we expect to see them? Or is it plausible that we see them on a curve? Yes. One of the important things on Rantes, though, is he said there were no other vessels there at the time. These were the only two, and that's how he identified them. And that is absolutely fantastic, because you identified the Endeavour and the Aldebaran 18 miles away, correct. But there's a reason why you couldn't see them, and you identified two that are actually anchored close, as in 1/3 of the distance. The reason you couldn't see them is they were not visible from the beach. Cheers.